Can you hear me in the back? Excellent. Welcome to meeting 5350. We made it the whole year, yes. Welcome, Rotarians and guests. Thank you, greeting language with past presidents. Don't forget with past presidents, right? And thank you to my buddy Jeremy Harris. Jeremy has been my partner all year. I really love that guy. Guest introductions, please come up to the microphone. Also, my guests can come up too and I'll introduce you. You all try to be incredibly brief. I'm already behind in the program. It's going to be long and painful. We'll try to limit it as much as we can. Go right ahead, Danny. Hey, Danny, would you raise that mic too? Raise the stand so that it's
my guest is Dan Bizzuto. So been working with him, known this guy for a long time, and just happy to bring him by to watch it get debunked.
We love Dan Bizzuto. Hi, Dan.
Hi, President Steve. Congratulations on a great year. I wanted to introduce two of my guests who are very interested in joining Rotary.
Not after today.
Especially today, because of all the people. This is Ava Lee, and she is a realtor with Intero Real Estate Services. And this is Terry Tran, chiropractor with APIC Therapy. This is, if Terry looks familiar, this is her second meeting here. They're both very, very interested in joining Rotary. So.
Don't hold today again.
Hey, President Steve, I have my often guest, master mentalist and magician, and my personal sweetheart, Jay Alexander.
Welcome, Jay.
Hi, President Steve. How are you? I'm Pam Foley, and I am really honored to introduce to you my new guest, Alan Kornstein. He is with Camino Brewing Company. You all should know that. Down on First Street. Welcome, Alan.
Welcome, Alan.
We wanted to bring him to the most interesting Rotary meeting we have.
Welcome, Alan. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Charles Mortimer. I'm past president of the Castro Valley Rotary Club. Went to demotion last night. Here again, congratulations for your demotion today. Many congratulations on your wonderful year, I guess. I wasn't here, but good job. I am also a real estate broker. Thank you very much.
Steve, President Steve, former First Lady Marianne Salas, she won't get up, but she wants to say hi.
Hey, Steve, I dragged two of your guests and really happy to have Connie Martinez and Tony Van Winkle. No jokes about Van Winkle, right?
Welcome, Tony and Connie. Thanks for coming. Steve.
No self-respecting Rotarian would introduce me, so I'm guest Steve Tedesco.
John, hold on a second. You know, Steve,
Hi, President Steve. How are you?
Hold on, John. Steve Tedesco hasn't been a member for like 5 years, but he comes more often than most members. So thanks, Steve. John, go ahead.
Very good. Nice shot to everybody else in the room on your last day. You're going to get yours. Please welcome my wife, Paula. Ball.
Paula Ball.
Well, you're getting the send-off that I wish I had had. I want to introduce to you Lena Broido, who is the thought behind this scarf that Steve is wearing. Lena Broido is with the Rotary Club in Los Altos.
And I wanted to say thank you, Lena, for this wonderful idea. She has made hundreds of these, sold them, and donated money to Ukraine. She was the inspiration for this scarf. So thank you, Lena. Jude Berry here? Jude Berry, my friend, is here. Let's give Jude a round of applause. And my other two guests who wouldn't have missed this today, my son Mike, my daughter Melissa. Melissa, stand up for a second. Melissa, stand up for a second. Melissa's got a baby in her belly that's coming out in a couple weeks. Isn't that cute? Dominic Urrutia from San Jose State. Dominic, come on up. And Dominic and everyone today is going to be very brief because I already have it in the week in the program. Dominic.
Thank you, President Steve, for giving me a minute during your last meeting to talk about San Jose State. Yeah, many of you are alumni, but if you're not an alumnus, you probably know someone who is. You have a friend or a colleague or somebody who you employ that is a Spartan. There are over 265,000 living alumni in the Bay Area, and in some way, shape, or form, San Jose State is impacting all of our lives. And that goes hand in hand with a marketing and membership campaign that San Jose State Athletics launches tomorrow called We Are All Spartans. If you know San Jose State, you know that everything is earned, nothing is given at SJSU. We roll up our sleeves and get the job done. We're the #1 employer to Silicon Valley, and we are the #1 most transformative university, public university in the country by Money Magazine. So keep your eyes out tomorrow as we launch our new campaign, We Are All Spartans.
Dominic, you clean up very well. You know, this has been an extremely long year, and it's about to get way, way longer, so get used to it. So put on your seatbelt. It's my pleasure now to introduce our newest Red Badger, Matt Robin. Matt, are you here? Thank you, Mike. Matt, are you here? Matt, are you here? Matt, you're not really a Red Badger. So take off that silly outfit, would you please? Okay. Okay. There we go. You know what? I forgot. Hold on a minute, Matt. I forgot to introduce my sweetie Karen Corselia, who didn't have the courage to walk up to the microphone. Would you give Karen some love? Thank you. Hey, Matt, this morning when I was getting dressed, I was wondering, what are you supposed to wear below the kilt?
You wear your socks and your shoes, Steve.
Well, then I got it right. That's good.
You're welcome.
You might not know this, but Matt was a circus performer, a professional circus performer for about 20 years. before he came to San Jose?
I was, and actually I brought some stuff to do a real quick, just, you know, everyone's like, oh, what can we do in the circus? I wouldn't do a handstand, but then I wouldn't be allowed within about 2,000 feet of school. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I thought I'd do some juggling, one of those, you know, most people can't do it skills. So, you know, figure just show off some juggling skills. What do you think, huh?
Wow, that's
Oh,
really.
yeah. Wait, I'm not done. Hold on, you ready? I can also juggle behind my back. You ready? Perfect. Thank you.
Man, is that all you got? That is really not that impressive. Look what I have here, guys. What do you think?
Well, before we do this, I think something's wrong with your outfit. I'm not going to lie. You're a little muted in color. So if I can, I just happen to have a spare Hawaiian shirt on me. So I want you to look the part if you're going to, you know, dress the part. You know, why just wear a kilt? Wear a kilt and a Hawaiian shirt. Aw, there we go. All right. You're welcome. Here, I got this. Dressing the president.
He helped me this morning with my kilt too.
That's true. Come on.
But that has nothing to do with. That has nothing to do with the balls.
Hardest shirt I've ever seen to put on. There we go. Okay, get the hand in the sleeve. There we go. President Steve, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So you can juggle. Whoa. We can throw it. Now the intention to play. Oh, I can.
You guys ready?
Can't lie, ladies and gentlemen, it's a little bit like if you're a presidency, dropping the ball. But for seriousness, is the word I just created. I was in circus performing for about 25 years, and I got to perform all over the world. And one of the places close by I got to perform at was actually in Davies Hall with the San Francisco Symphony. And I got to play the musical Saw. I got to ride an acrobatic bicycle, which is what I mainly did in the circus. But I'm also really well known for another more impressive juggling feat, and that is juggling 3 bowling balls. Would you guys like to see that? Sorry, it's been a while. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I usually wear steel-toe shoes. I'm not quite as prepared as I should be today, but sorry.
Be careful, man.
I get nervous sometimes. Do me a favor. Sure. I usually ask somebody with talent to help me here, but you'll have to do. Can you, on the count of 3, because it's been a while, these arms aren't what they used to be. Can you throw that ball into my juggling pattern? Do your little 3-ball bowling. You guys ready for this? All right, Steve. 1, 2, 3. That feels so good. I'm gonna lie down for a minute. You ready? Hold on. Comedy! Come on, get on with the show. We're losing them, Steve.
So with that, I think we lost it a long time ago, Matt. Mike Conniff is going to come up and introduce Matt Robin.
As they say, that's a hard act to follow. I just want to have you all welcome Matt here. Matt is our friend up in the East Hills. I'm happy to welcome him into the group of what we call the hill people, because we live in the hills, and that's contrasted from the flatlanders, people who live down in the valley here. So welcome to the Highlanders. It's great to see you, and welcome to our club. So I'm not going to say any more. I just very much see you. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone. So I just want to thank you all for allowing me to become a part of this wonderful club. You know, I did a lot of traveling when I was in the circus, and one of the things that I always noticed around the world was this little, weird wheel in a lot of the cities I go to. I never knew what it was about, and it wasn't until my wife kind of introduced me to Rotary. She mentioned last week her mom was a Rotary member for years. And it really seemed like something that I thought I'd like to do. And Mike and his wife Ann would be walking down the road every day past our house and give us a hello and a wave, and we started chatting. And one day he invited me to come to Rotary. It's actually a little over a year ago. And I came to a meeting and I got to go to the barbecue last year. And I told Emily about it, and she was so excited that I had gotten invited, and was super jealous that she wanted to be a part of Rotary, even more than I realized I did. If I go back to where I started as a teenager, I went to Bellarmine, and I grew up in the Bay Area, but I went to Bellarmine. Go Bells! And we did a lot of volunteering at school. Some of it required, some of it we got in trouble, but I loved doing it. I went down to Tijuana on a Habitat for Humanities trip, and I just loved building houses. And then in my junior year, I went to Honduras and spent 6 weeks in a program called Amigo de las Americas, where it was kind of like a Peace Corps type program, and I just fell in love with helping people and going to see the world. After that, I actually literally left Bellarmine and applied to circus school and West Point Military Academy. I know, ask me why, we can explain it later, but I moved to Montreal and spent 2 years in Montreal, where I then spent the next 25 years as a circus artist. In that time, I volunteered at an aquarium. I did over 1,500 hours of volunteer time there, almost 500 of that underwater. And to me, it was helping the animals and just sharing with people the incredibleness of what nature has an animal do. And then at 40, I took a complete left turn in my career, left the circus, and I started a career as a Chicago police officer. And I spent 4 years as a police officer until I moved back to the Bay Area. And people always ask me, why would you go from being in the circus to being a cop? And I said, because I really love helping people. And as much as it doesn't seem like it, that's exactly what the police do every day. And I absolutely love that job. And there were some days where it was more insane than a circus. I really can't even begin to tell you. But then we had the amazing opportunity to find a 12-acre farm here in San Jose. And after having just a few chickens, ducks, and 2 goats in our backyard, we moved out to San Jose 18 months ago to be back again close to our family. And we now take care of, at last count, 102 farm animals that we've rescued. We're giving them a forever home, and my job is to take care of those animals and share animals and the happiness I get to help those people. So I'm looking forward to volunteering more with Rotary, and I cannot thank you enough for having me here. So thank you. So beautiful. So beautiful.
Next up is debunking. So Heather Lerner now owns the program.
Oh, I just thought I was going to go to the end of that song. I really like that, Jeremy. We're just going to listen to some music. Welcome, everybody, to Debunking. I was so excited when I got the call from Sal, who has been the longstanding chair of the Debunking Committee, and he said, hey, do you think you could be Steve's debunking? Because I can't really, it would be so undignified for me to debunk as I pass the torch to myself at the end of the meeting. And so, I don't know, I think you could pull it off. But anyway, thank you for selecting me, and it's my honor. You're going to see some fun friends here. Come on up. The first of which is Sal Pizarro.
So as Heather mentioned, I'd been the debunking chair for, I didn't even wait for Jeremy to finish. That's how behind schedule we are, because somebody started his own debunking, trying to get rid of all the debunking time. Good job, Steve. Way to go. But traditionally, the president-elect doesn't participate in debunking, but I had an idea before I was president-elect, and I said, I've got to still do this for Steve. So we've been very lucky to have Steve as our president. He does so much for our club, for our community, but yeah, let's, it's the last applause you're getting till the end, pal. But it's not even his day job. His day job, as you may know, is he's executive director of Urban Confluence Silicon Valley, which is the nonprofit that is working very hard to put a landmark structure in downtown San Jose. And right there, that is the winning design, Breeze of Innovation. You've probably seen it before. Now this design beat out nearly 1,000 competitors in an international ideas competition. Now what you don't know though is I rifled through Steve's files and I found a bunch of ideas that didn't even make the cut. They didn't even present them to the jury. Steve rejected them from the beginning. So, but you, because you are Rotarians, because you are lucky, you get to see them. No one else has seen these. The first one was submitted by, let's see, it says R. Diridon. I'm assuming that might be Rod, I don't know. Let's take a look at it. Oh, yep. I think that would be Rod Diridon. That would look pretty good in the park. Not sure why they rejected that one. Maybe because, you know, too close to Rod. The next one came from an S.J. Sharkey. Okay, I could see that being, you know, across the street from SAP Center at Arena Green. But, you know, maybe conflict of interest. Sharks wouldn't pay for it or something. The next one, let's see, it looks like a Jeffrey Bezos. Okay, doesn't sound like a local guy. Oh my, okay. That's that Blue Origin rocket. I think we can see why Steve said no to that one. Okay, the next one, actually another local community leader, Shiloh Ballard, who's executive director of the Silicon Valley Bicycle Coalition. And I think this one's pretty nice and sweet. Maybe it wasn't as forward-looking enough, but Steve's a bike guy, so I thought he might like that one. Oh, another community submission here. T. McHenry. Let's see what this one is. Oh, yeah. Probably wise to stay away from that one, right? Yeah. And the last one was an anonymous submission, and I really don't know why Steve didn't go for this one, but let's see. Just you know, no one's ever accused you of having a big head, but there it is. So anyway, all these ideas could have been yours. Instead, we got Breeze of Innovation. Thanks for all your hard work, Steve. It's been a great year.
Thank you, Sal. I don't know what happened to that giant Boy Scout fleur-de-lis we were talking about submitting. I don't know what happened. That thing's beautiful. It's beautiful. Who doesn't love a fleur-de-lis? Well, you know, we heard that Steve had been to Burning Man, and he loved San Jose so much. He was homesick. He fled, and he came home. But then I was actually corrected on that. He did go to Burning Man, but let me have my friends tell you a little bit more. Georgie Huff and friends.
So Steve came to Burning Man, he'd never been there before, for inspiration for urban confluence. Now, Burning Man, for some of you that don't know, it's an art gathering of 80,000 people in the desert. Temperatures range from 30 degrees to 110. And Burning Man features interactive art, community, self-expression, and we were talking about it last night. It's just like Rotary with costumes. These are some of the art pieces on the playa, and that's called the summit. And this is art, you know.
This will ask for your imagination. As a first timer, one of the traditions is you have to roll around in the dust, make snow angels, and ring a bell that doesn't require a donation. Steve joined our camp, which is called the School of Black Rock, which is an old-fashioned schoolhouse theme, which is complete with a bus, classes, and a recess bell. And like Rotary, Burning Man has principles and code of conduct. So one of them is no commercialism. There is no money exchanged, no logos and advertising, radical self-reliance, and no laptops.
And it's my job to tell you that Steve broke every single rule Burning Man had. Please note, logo on the hat, logo on the t-shirt. Next slide, please. Logo, again, even at the prom, logo and a laptop. And by the way, the earlier shot that you saw of our whole camp, please note he's wearing a Sharks jersey. Last time I checked, that's a logo. Okay, so he just broke the rules left and right. So at the end of Burning Man, all of the art burns. Well, actually I shouldn't say that. If it's made of wood, it burns. If it's made of metal, it goes to City Hall. Anyway, so it all burns, and Steve, claims that, seeing art burn was just offensive to him, and that's why he had to leave.
But that's not true. Actually, he was asked to leave for breaking all the rules, for insisting that everyone call him President Steve, and for generally being a stick in the mud about all the house music. So, Burner Brother Steve, this is for you. Thank you, DJ Mike, and thank you, Steve.
We plan for this part. Always. Technology. It's a theme. Next up, we have our good friend, Jeremy Harris, with a parody. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Take us away.
Okay. Thank you, Heather. Let me get really straight here. Okay. Well, that might be hard for me. Well, you just gotta believe when you're working with a guy like Steve. Do what, do what, do what, do what, do what, do what, do wow. So many great ideas. That's the kind of person he is. Do what, 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 do wow. He bends your ear, and when he's finally through, you'll walk away, scratch your head, and say, what did I just agree to do? But you can't just up and leave when you're working with a guy like Steve. Do what, 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 do wow. He wears so many hats. Oh, there sure is a lot to like. If we could only get him to focus and get off that bike. Another trick up his sleeve. That's what you get with Steve. Do what, 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 do wow. Enthusiasm, energy, oh yeah, those are things he really has. But you know there's something else. There must be something else. There must be something else. Oh yeah, it's all that jazz. And so, my dear friend Steve, we love you. We're gonna miss you. Now you can finally leave.
Jeremy Harris with a custom tune. Sal, maybe when you're president, he'll write you a custom tune. I think it'd be beautiful, beautiful. Well, I know that we all can't get enough of Steve, but you know who really can't get enough of Steve? His sweetheart, Taryn. Come up and tell us a little about your love story.
Hi, I'm Taryn. I'm Steve's sweetheart. I'm also Vic Corsilia's daughter. I'm Vic Corsilia's daughter and Laurel Bondi's sister. Hello, you guys. I'm so proud of Steve having been the Rotary president this past year. And I'm also happy to be able to be part of the debunking. So thank you. Steve and I have been together for a while. And on our very first real date, I found out something really interesting about Steve that many of you probably know. On our first real date, we went to the beach. We were dressed completely inappropriately, wearing jeans and tennies, so we had a lot of stuff we had put out on our beach towel. So we're sitting on the beach and we're talking, we're deep in conversation, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, thwack, here comes this huge wave and knocks into us. Everything goes flying, glasses, shoes, socks, Steve's pants. Then there was a big scramble to gather up all of our stuff before it was swept out to sea forever. When all was said and done, only one thing was missing, and that was Steve's black sock. And so then I knew, Steve loses things. Here's a short list of things that Steve loses: socks, shoes, pants, underwear, don't ask me, golf clubs, golf hats, coats, sweaters. He even lost his computer one time on our front porch. Really weird. Loses sunglasses. He loses hankies all the time. But here's the thing about Steve that I love the most. He's a glass half full guy. So he doesn't see things as lost, just misplaced. And when he loses stuff, he doesn't get upset because he's confident that things will eventually be found. And if they're not, they're just things, not people. Stuff can be replaced, people can't. And so all of you people here are really important to Steve and completely irreplaceable. So now for the stuff. If anybody has anything of Steve's, please stand up and raise your hand. I'd really appreciate it. Oh, yay.
Whoa. Yes, fabulous. Okay, fantastic. Do you have something of Steve's? Clarence, will you tell us about that?
Be happy to. Steve, of course, God love you. You do leave everything behind. He's still got golf clubs in my car. He left this hanky in my house after crying, sobbing, because he learned he was going to have to spend the entire year working with me as a foundation president.
I think you better return that to him. Thank you. Thank you. John Ball, sounds like you've got something of Steve's.
I also have a handkerchief here, but I tell you, it's a little odd for me because my experience is Steve does not leave his handkerchief behind. So that's news to me that he would leave a handkerchief behind, because I've noticed over my time knowing Steve quite well is that when he uses the handkerchief, he uses it with great enthusiasm. In fact, when he's done using it, he opens it up very much like we opened up Christmas cards in the morning of Christmas, and we looked inside to see what was in there. So I hope that if any of you have any of Steve's hankies, burn it.
It's like Burning Man art. Thank you, John. Let me run over here to Rich Agiloni. You've got something of Steve's? How'd you get it?
I do have something of Steve's, another handkerchief. So I took Steve to a Sharks game, and Thomas Hurdle got a penalty, and Steve just lost it. He starts falling, and I'm like, Steve, it's only 2 minutes. And he's like, it wasn't high sticking, and he's just blubbering all over the place. I felt like I was in Jerusalem at the Wailing Wall, for God's sake. And so Steve didn't, and then my nachos, forget about, you ever have nachos that Steve's cried all over for? So he didn't lose this, but it was stuck to the seat of my car when I drove him home. So I'm here to return it.
Thank you, Rich. Sounds like we should burn that one too. Steve, welcome home.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I've had this hanky for 20 years. Steve just was crying uncontrollably when I left the Chamber of Commerce. So I've held this for 20 years, and sorry I didn't take the advice to burn it.
Leslie and Marie, do we have a biohazard container? Can you guys grab that on the way out? Matt, welcome. What do you got there?
Well, Heather, I too have one of Steve's hankies, but you know, it's a little bit different. In my role as membership chair, you know, I report regularly to Steve, and you know, we've gotten to know him. He's this one. We all see him as this wonderful, sweet, kind, gentle human being, but actually recently I saw quite another side to President Steve at the end of the year here, when I had to go tell him that unfortunately we're going to come up just short of our membership goal for this year. Well, he launches into this scathing, brutal, vicious assault, verbal assault against me, and including, you know, some personal insults that I thought were quite unnecessary. But after he's done, I literally was reduced to tears myself. So I was the one crying. He takes the hanky, throws it in my face, said something along the lines of, you know, get over it, sissy boy, and get back to work. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, I guess I'll give it back to you now, Steve.
Thank you, Matt. Sissy boy, but I hope that one doesn't stick. Vic, you must have so many stories.
Well, I have a number of stories. I also have a sock. I found this sock in the swimming pool in the back of our house. And I looked at, that's not my swimming pool. That's not, I shouldn't say that. That's not my sock. That's Steve's sock. So here it is, Steve.
A sodded sock. Imagine that. Thank you, Vic. Wonderful, wonderful. Dave, so good to see you. You've got some gloves on today. I'm a little concerned with this biohazard thing we've been talking about. Tell us about your story. Would you like me to hold the mic? Because I'm kind of a little germaphobe right now.
Okay, has anybody ever had Steve over for dinner? I mean, just imagine, what have we just gone through in the last couple of years? COVID, and he leaves these things around. I mean, we invite him to dinner, he gets a little bit of allergies, starts blowing his nose, and then he forgets it. I mean, it's incredible. And I'm surprised the rest of you don't have gloves on as you're passing these back to him. So anyway, Steve, it's yours, you get it later.
Dave Davis, everyone. Gary, do you have a little something with Steve's?
Well, I happened to find a handkerchief also. Steve and his buddy Mike Jacoby for many years chaired the Sacred Heart Community Service Golf Tournament and raised thousands and thousands of dollars for that charity. I think the last time we played in the tournament was like 12 years ago, and so I wasn't in Steve's foursome, but I found this in my golf bag, so somebody told me for sure it was Steve's.
Thank you, Gary. It's amazing you put up with golfing with that man. I've got one more here. I think just one more, right? Oh, no, we got Sal. Oh, we got Carl. I got a whole bunch. You leave a lot of stuff everywhere, Steve.
He does, and he never raised $1,000 for any of my benefits. As a matter of fact, he borrows things all the time. And a matter of fact, about 10% of you know that Steve was in a tough way a few years ago. So he moved in with Marianne and I for about a week, and he moved out a year and a half later. It's true. And he borrowed a lot of things. And Steve, a handkerchief in my underwear drawer. A2, Steve, A2.
Ooh la la. Sal, what do you have?
So, I mean, I thought I was special having one of Steve's handkerchiefs. Apparently not. Steve left this in my car. We were driving back from a Rotary event where we heard Jennifer Jones, the incoming Rotary International President, speak. And Steve was so excited to tell me about all the plans he had for his Rotary year. And then he started crying into this handkerchief because I told him, it's March, Steve, you're almost done. So, but that's how it went. So I've got this for you, Steve.
Thank you, Sal. Oh, wait. This is great. They're reminding me that you're standing as if we didn't plant this. Mike, tell us some stuff.
Well, it's hard because, well, you guys know Steve's one of my best golf buddies, and usually when he's using the handkerchief out on the golf course with me, we both actually suffer from bad allergies, but this last time, right at the beginning of his term, it was because we were winning a big golf tournament. We were both crying in total disbelief, but Steve is known to leave a few golf clubs behind. I usually have to collect them up. I'm his caddy, you know, kind of, but anyways, and I think you also know that Steve's a little thrifty when it comes to buying golf clubs. So until just recently, he had heirlooms, you know, family heirlooms as golf clubs, and the last like 3 drivers have been mine. Steve, I found your last one, your next one. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. We've learned so much about Steve here, haven't we? All these stories, underwear drawers, golf bags. Anyway, thank you so much, Debunking friends and family with your handkerchief story. Next up, Charlie McCollum.
Well, it's been a while since we've heard from this special and mysterious visitor from the East. But since this is a special occasion, we spared no expense to bring him back to lower our debunking standards even more, if that's possible. He's recently returned from a gig in Washington, D.C., where he's been a joke writer for Adam Schiff. That's right, I speak of the all-knowing man of mystery. Please welcome Rhinak the Magnificent. Are you okay, Brian?
I'm just fine. We'll see in about 3 minutes.
Well, welcome back to our club, oh great sage. I see you're down in a new chateau.
Watch your mouth.
I'm talking about your hat.
Oh, yeah, this is a little thing I picked up from my friend Merlin.
The magician?
No, the butcher. Yes, of course, the magician. Speaking of which, let's do this quickly before I make these folks disappear. Yes.
All right, I hold in my hand these envelopes right here. As a child of 4 can plainly see, these envelopes have been hermetically sealed and been kept in a number 2 mayonnaise jar since noon yesterday on Funk and Wagnall's porch. No one knows the contents of these envelopes but you. In your divine and semi-mystical way, will ascertain the answers to these questions, having never seen them before.
You are correct, Debunking Breath.
All right, here is the first envelope.
The long and winding road.
The long and winding road.
That's what I said. The long and winding road.
The long and winding road.
How does one best describe any point President Steve is attempting to make? The four-way test.
The four-way test.
Boy, I usually work alone. What type of examination did Vic Corsilia give Steve when Taryn first brought him home? No gloves were needed for that one. Yes. The film Jurassic World Dominion and Steve Borkenhagen's year as president. Name 2 things that just should not have happened. Happy hour.
Happy hour.
What begins at 1:15 today for President Steve? The point of no return. What begins today at 1:15 for Sal Pizarro?
And now the words this crowd has been waiting for. I hold in my hand the last envelope.
May Larry Stone become a proctologist and give you a thorough assessment. A potato, Brad Pitt, and this routine. Name a spud, a stud, and a dud. Thank you very much.
Rhinak the Magnificent.
It is so good to have Brydak back in the house. You know, Steve's year, the attendance was a little bit, we had some troubles there. We've already mentioned that we missed our membership, by a little bit there. But, Steve was so desperate about membership that he created his own new category, his own new classification. Matt and Emily, can you join me up here, please? So normally we have oh my goodness. Normally we have some really nice categories, you know, your nonprofit category, your bankers, your CPAs, your insurance people, all like that. But Steve was so desperate to expand membership that he came up with this new one. It's called Carney. And I believe that's for you. So I got these 2 badges. So you guys are the the only ones in the category of Carney. Can we get some can you tell me more about that? I mean, he created this for you.
No, I'm not wearing that. That is so offensive.
Is that not the proper term?
No. Is it Doctor of Performance of Carnival Arts?
Oh, it's not Dr. Carney? Okay, can we call you Dr. Carney for short? No, oh, I made her angry.
She would be Mrs. Dr. Carney.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we have it for the Rotary membership
Yeah.
book. So,
I guess this will work. I mean, technically, we're not carnies because we all know carnies have small hands and smell like cabbage, so nothing like that. Yeah.
She does smell really lovely. Thank you thanks for trying and being the only category. We'll get that changed out. See Leslie at the back there. We'll get that to Doctor of Performance of Carnival Arts. Appreciate that. You know, I've got one more badge here. Maybe Jay will join the club and you can be a carny too. I think they need some joining the category. Yes, I'm going to give this to you, sweetheart. I want you to be our official carny. Magicians. I think they're like below carny. I don't know. Jay Ross, come on up here. Hello, my friend.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
Couldn't be better.
Well, so Steve, past president, has been almost past president. Steve, attendance. Oh, you lamented attendance. You tried so hard to get this room filled again during this pandemic. Your phone Rotarian friend was cute. Nice try. I wish you would have called me because the answer, Steve, is so easy. It's the chocolate chip cookies. Come on. Hey, Leslie, wherever you are, thanks for, look around, right? Thanks for sending out that email to everybody without telling Steve and letting him know that I would have chocolate chip cookies here today. As you leave, the chocolate chip cookies will be on the table.
It couldn't be easier. Why didn't we think of that sooner? G. Ross, thank you so much. I believe I've got 2 more slides here. Brian, can you help me out? Because we're almost done here. We're winding up. We do want to let you know that Steve really does leave things everywhere. There was this rumor going around this year that our Rotary bell was stolen. And we believed that. We felt bad about that. We chipped in. We bought a new bell. Was it stolen, Brian? Was it stolen? Or was it left on the schoolhouse building at Burning Man? It was, there it is, fines for you, leaving things behind, the Rotary bell. And then it was so inspiring that the next thing is going to show up at our city hall is a life-size Rotary bell, which you can see on the playa to this day. Where is that one, Brian? Oh, fantastic. Thank you. All right, well, the real reason we are all here today is to sing your praises and show you what a fantastic year you had. And we will continue to have. Let's show them the beautiful photo montage with live piano accompaniment by Jeremy Harris.
Wow, overwhelming. I want to warn everyone, we are going to run late today. If you ask any Rotary president, they'll tell you that the most painful thing every week is trying to finish on time, and we fail rarely, but once in a while, and we are going to fail today. So if you do have to leave at 1:15 sharp, please just do it quietly, but stay if you can. We've got some wonderful things going. One of my great privileges of being president is that we get to choose a Rotary International honorary Rotarian. One. And here's the description, quote, awarded to a non-Rotarian who has provided exemplary and significant financial and/or volunteer services, specifically to the Rotary Club in San Jose. The person that I'm going to bring up in a moment is really the #1 Rotarian that our club probably has ever had in its 110 years. In addition to doing things for the club, incredibly generous with money, with time, with spiritual guidance, with everything you could ever want. She and Carl also let Karen and me live at their house for about a year and a half. Mary Ann Sallis, please come up here. As is usually the case with me, I had an award in mind, but I lost it. So I'm just going to give Marianne a hug and let her speak for a moment if she'd like. You go there.
I'm never at a loss for words until now. That's a big shock and surprise, and I really miss being around the club, and that's going to change, I think. So anyway, thank you. I love you guys all. I love this club. I love Steve, Carl. Thank you.
Mary Ann Sallis. Carl and I had to work hard to trick her into coming today, too. So, Marianne, thank you for coming. Carl, thank you for being my co-conspirator on that one. Rich Evelini, could you come up for a moment, please? We got a wonderful treat for everyone today. I'm going to let Rich take it away. John and Brian, you guys ready for this? Rich, go ahead. Yeah. John, Brian, are we ready? Is that a yes?
So, thank you, Steve. So most of us in this room have another dear friend who we love almost as much as Steve by the name of Chris Wilder. And as we all know that on March 7th of last year, Chris suffered a devastating stroke and has been home recovering. And I want to welcome Chris to greet us in person. Just because we don't see you all the time doesn't mean we're not your friends and we don't love you and care about you and think about you all the time.
Well, I feel the same way about this entire room full of people.
Chris, you look like you're doing better. You're sounding better. I heard you're getting out more. In fact, I'm going to see you tomorrow in Los Gatos, which is great.
Yes, Richard, it's great to hear you. And again, great to see everyone. Steve, congratulations and way to go surviving the year.
Chris, thanks for jumping on, and we hope to see you in person soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone.
Couple more surprises. Sal, bring him up. Come up with me, would you? Karen, are you here? Oh, Karen's not here. Okay, Sal, come on up anyway. So, I've always thought that we should have, my mic on? I've always thought we should have a Rookie of the Year award and a Rotarian of the Year award. We've never had one. So what the hell? Let's start a new tradition. Now, I don't have the authority to do anything on behalf of Sal and Karen, who will come after Sal, and all the presidents who come after them. But I'm the short-term dictator, so I decided to do this. And Sal and Karen are my co-conspirators here. So we're going to give a Rookie of the Year award. First person, the woman who's going to receive this award, she hasn't even been a member for a year, and here's the committee she's on. She's on the San Jose State University Committee. She's a Red Badger, active on the committee. She's on the Unhoused Impact Committee. She's on the International Service Committee. She is really the one-woman welcoming committee. We used to have a committee of 3 or 4 or 5 people. recently it's been this one woman whom I've come to love over the past year. She's everywhere. She also helps with military care. She's made many, many new friends. Octavia Derby. Octavia, come on up.
I am so humbled. Thank you, everybody. Oh my God. This is the best committee. This is the best club ever. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Octavia. And our Rotarian of the Year, interestingly, is also a Red Badger. Many of you can guess who this is going to be. But this guy joined the club about a year ago, and it seems like he's on every damn committee in the whole club. International Service, Red Badge, of course, Book Club. He's the incoming committee chair of a Rotary Climate Action, and he founded his own new committee about a month ago called Refugee Support. We've done a bunch of work, raised money to help these poor refugees from Afghanistan. Mark McKenna. Mark, I hope you're here. Come on up.
Congratulations, graduate.
Very good, Mark.
Octavia said it best, humble, grateful. It's been great to be a Red Badger under Steve's first year. I'm sure Sal will do his best to keep up the progress. And it's just great to be part of the club. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thanks, Mark. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Sal Pizarro.
See? I'll be back. See, this is supposed to be much more dignified earlier. Okay, so it is my honor to bid farewell to our outgoing club directors this year. We have 4 directors who are turning off, as you may or may not know. Our club board, people serve a 3-year term on it. So we have people coming through all the time with no loss of institutional memory, but it's always sad every year. That means we're losing 4 people. And so this year, I'd like to call up Matt Breaker, Sean Cottle, Deanna Persai, and Jennifer Simmons to come up and receive our gratitude and their bottle of wine. Provided by Bert George, nice bottle of Bagnall Duckhorn. They are engraved with their names. Of course, Sean goes up first, and this is the bottle that I can't find. There you go, Sean. Congratulations. Come up to the stage and stand here for a moment. And I think Matt isn't here today, but I'll drink his wine for him. So that'll be fine. Your outgoing club directors. Thank you. And of course, thank you guys. And that also means that we're replacing with 4 new people that you voted in back in December. And those 4 people are Sarah Janigan, Rose Simmons, Kathleen Thomas, and Jim Towery. No wine for you yet. You've got to wait 3 years. But if you'd like to stand up and be recognized, please do. And of course, this is our entire club board of directors that will be working with me. I'm looking forward to a fantastic year with them. We're already starting to have a lot of fun. And this, just to show you, is the club nominating committee that will be working on selecting the incoming board of directors for the following year, as well as the president to follow Karen, and of course the foundation president, I believe. So at this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage our outgoing foundation president, Clarence Stone.
Thank you, President Sal. I'm going to get quickly to it. We're running late. It's been a deep pleasure to be your foundation president the past couple of years. It's been a real joy. Thank you so much. President Steve, thank you so much for all the hard work. It was a joy working with you too, particularly insisting and pressing forward to have these in-person meetings on Wednesday. It would have not happened had it not been with your leadership, and I truly thank you. Look at this room, it's packed, and we're having a blast. Thank you. Sarah Klish, Sue Smith, Kathy Wiley, I believe you're here. Come on up. I've got a gift for you, and I'm going to keep going to get through this. The 5 outgoing board members or outgoing trustees, rather. Andrew Bales, who unfortunately can't be here today. Sarah Klish, the woman who always says yes. Pat Fox, who likewise can't be here today. Sue Smith, our calm and wise one, thank you. And then, of course, Kathy Wiley. Thank you all. I know our club deeply appreciates you all. Please accept this fabulous magnum of duckhorn. Thank you all very much. And moving forward, congratulations to our new Foundation Board trustees. Thank you for moving that slide forward. Raphael Dubois, Scott Payne, Steve Prouty, Joe Quillisi, and Ginger Sotelo. If you are all here, please stand. Let's give you a round of applause. And finally, this is your new incoming Foundation Board trustees for next year. And lastly, moving forward to the nominating committee, of course, the slide, Dave Davis, Audrey Fox, Mauricio Cordova, Sal Pizarro, Karen Philbrook, Darren Sparks. That's it. Thank you all so very much.
We're getting close. Thank you for all for being so patient and staying with us. Two thank yous. Heather and the debunking committee, thank you for that. That was very gentle. Could have been so much worse. A contribution has been made on your behalf to the Tupac Shakur Foundation. If you want to know more about them, just ask Heather, who's on the board. I want to thank Rotary staff, Leslie, Marie, Teresa, my buddy Clarence, both boards of directors, all the committee chairs. The Rotary's got hundreds of people who make all this happen. The president just is sort of the ringleader, but all of you make this all happen, so thank you all. The group who never gets enough love are our multimedia guys back there in the back. John During, Brian Vanderveer, Mike Damberger, and Josh Simmons, fabulous week in, week out. You know, they make the magic here. Thank you guys. You've been incredible partners. All the past presidents who are my buddies and have supported me, I really appreciate it, and of course all of you. The most powerful moment of my year was when Carl got up and did his usual Carl Salas madman routine and donated some massive amount of money to Ukraine. Many of you were here, and we raised, I don't know, 10, 20 grand that day. It was incredible. Lena, thank you. You know, that was really a tough year watching what's happened in Afghanistan and Ukraine, and I'm really proud of all of us and the work we've done. And as always, my buddies Bert and Carl are always right there at the front of the line. Carl, thank you. Marianne, more thanks for you too. A few quick announcements, and then we'll get a new president here. Please volunteer to work at the Large Club Conference. You can sign up in the lobby. July 4th, fireworks, please go. Our own Michelle Acosta will be singing at about 9:30. 4th of July committee needs volunteers to work on July 5th. Please call Jim Gardner. The Rose, White, and Blue Parade on July 5th in the Shasta-Hanchett area. The Grand Marshals are our own Rod Dierdon, who I know Rod's there somewhere. Rod and Gloria, and Sal's going to be there riding in a fancy car, which will be really fun. Please support Polio Plus. If you weren't here a couple of weeks ago, Polio Plus is an incredible program. We, Rotarians, the million of us around the world, have largely cured the world of polio. And we're right at the end, so any money you have, please be supportive. It's a thing I can't remember what it's called now, but you can become an annual supporter, I think at $100, and the more of us who do that, the better. So please do that. You know, we all have a lot to give. Some of us have lots of money, I don't, but we all give different things, and you know, you guys are all the givers, so you know, thank you for everything you do. And as my buddy Dave Davis and Popovich told me always over the years, they just had one bit of advice: don't screw it up. So you're only there for a year. You're only there for a year, as Dave said to me a year ago. Steve, how much damage do you think you could do in 1 year? Probably not that much. I think the club will survive. And so so Sal, come on up. Let's put a presidential pin on Sal. I've got a Kiwanis meeting I got to be at in 15 minutes.
Last time I had a box like this, and you got married.
In a moment, hopefully Sal's going to be the president. Wow, I did it. Darren, what do you think of that? That's pretty good, huh?
We actually practiced earlier. Before you go, we do have a gift for you. So we had some issues with the bell this year, as you recall. We thought this would be a very fitting reminder of your year as
See you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So as Steve mentioned, we've got fireworks coming up on 4th of July. We've got the parade with Rod Deridon and his wife, Gloria Duffy. I'll be out at the fireworks. We've got the mayor speaking, and Michelle will be singing the national anthem. And then there is no meeting next week, so don't come here. We won't be here. Next meeting is July 13th, my first meeting. Our speaker will be Dan Gordon, speaking on San Jose to Munich and back. And guess what? He's bringing beer. So look forward to seeing you all then. And with that, meeting adjourned.